Folks, I am coming to you from the mountains. Excited about this pregame show. UNLV versus Sam Houston State. It's going to be a really interesting game. We're going to see how the Rebels respond from that week one performance against Idaho State. The defense, the offense, there's tons of questions. This is the Let's Run podcast. Folks, welcome to the show today. Grateful to have you. Grateful to be able to broadcast to you live on the internet, that we have Wi-Fi where I am right now. Really excited. Pre-game show. We have about 20 minutes until kickoff. We will be live until just a couple of minutes before. Does anyone know what channel CBS Sports Network is on in Las Vegas? Please, I need help. I think it depends on your provider. Honestly, I just use YouTube TV now. If anybody has any help for Tavon, and can let him know what channel CBS Sports is on, that would be really helpful. I think it was like 1330 or something. Honestly, if I were you, I would just download the Stream East app and just illegally stream it if I were you, in case you can't do it through conventional means. So here we are, guys. It's been a week since the Idaho State performance. We've all had a lot of time to digest that performance by the UNLV defense, that performance by the UNLV offense. UNLV right now, let me check the line for this game. I don't know if it's moved at all pregame. So UNLV is currently, UNLV opened at 13.5 and is now at 9.5. With a money line number of minus 325 for Sam Houston. And Sam Houston is plus 260 to pull the upset. Currently, the over-under for the game is at 62.5 points. I think that's be about right. Yeah, you can check. Banana Man says you can check the CBS Sports app. That's another place you can watch it. Again, I always use YouTube TV, so I think CBS Sports Network is one of the channels that's on YouTube TV. So I'm pretty grateful for that. So yeah, UNLV is still favored by around 9, just over 9. That means that they basically want you to say, will UNLV win by 10 points or by less than 10 points? That's basically what the line is. And my level of confidence for this game it's gone up and down. I would say that generally I'm positive, I'm optimistic. I think that the Rebels have a great opportunity and can absolutely win this game. I am a little worried about the defense. I'm worried about interceptions. I'm worried about big plays from Sam Houston kind of stealing momentum. Obviously, we as Rebel fans all just watched what happened to Boise State last night, in what was admittedly, at least for this season, pretty bad for the Mountain West. But again, now that Boise State, especially this season, is a departing member, I don't think that I'm going to be rooting for, departing schools that much. Not that I dislike them, and I certainly have a lot of friends and fans from those schools. But that Boise State game last night gives, I think, UNLV a really good opportunity to get a little bit of positive media momentum, and especially heading into this UCLA game. This Sam Houston game is huge, and I think that it could be a tone setter, especially with how we respond from that Idaho State performance. This Sam Houston game will absolutely set the tone for the rest of the season. That first game, I think it's totally fair to. I don't want to say give UNLV a mulligan for that game, because certainly the performance probably wasn't quite what we wanted. Well, it definitely wasn't what we wanted to be. But again, when you win, you shouldn't apologize for winning. And UNLV did win that game, and now this week against Sam Houston has an opportunity to iron out some of the kinks, to iron out some of the issues that were on the offensive and defensive side. Most of the defensive side, I feel like people feel pretty confident about the place that the Rebel offense is in, and rightly so. We should feel confident about the place the Rebels offense is in. But this game is an awesome opportunity. Sam Houston in their week one game played against Western Kentucky. They lost that game. It was an interesting game. Sam Houston's quarterback has pretty good legs, and something that, especially after seeing what USF's quarterback did, Brown, to Boise State last night, I hope that the Rebels are very conscious of Sam Houston's quarterback, just to make sure that he doesn't explode for like a 60-yard touchdown, because that guy, he can run. And so I think that's something that the Rebels are going to have to be focused on, just preventing kind of those big chunk plays. If the Rebels, because if you play oftentimes with quarterback runs, with quarterback design runs. The reason why they happen is because the rest of your team is just playing really good coverage on everybody else on the team. And quarterbacks in those situations often have a space, to break out and to kind of explode. And so UNLV is going to have to watch Sam Houston's quarterback. He is a capable runner. As for the throwing game, they've got some good receivers returning. If Obviously it's a little late now because the game's 20 minutes away. But I did a very good preview with Lane Fobbs, who covers Sam Houston. He was on a couple of other people's stuff too. He was a really great guy. We did a really great preview show, and some of the names that he pointed out, I think that Sam Houston feels very frustrated by their week one performance, much like the Rebels. And so they're going to be coming into this game with almost the exact same type of mentality. How can we fix this defense? How can we prevent explosive plays? How can we control the game? But Sam Houston was in the game pretty far, into the third quarter. And so this is an opportunity for both teams to get on the right track, to get in the right headspace. And UNLV is going to have to stop the Sam Houston offense first and foremost. There is a lot of potential for Sam Houston to exploit UNLV's secondary defense. But one thing that I will say, especially when I was reviewing tape of that first week Idaho State game, forgive me, Rebels, I have to watch this game like a pirate. I have watched dozens, hundreds of sports games as a pirate. So never feel ashamed. The thing about watching stuff on illegal streams, especially with sports games, is the quality just isn't good, and you have the ads that you're dealing with. So it is better to have YouTube TV or just cable or whatever. But you never apologize. This is you're watching your team. It's one person. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So you do you, man. So that's key number one. Can the Rebels keep Sam Houston from getting explosive plays? That's my first key of the game. And those keys could come from both the running game. Go Rebels, please play decent. Thank you, Braden. I appreciate you, man. As you can see, I'm actually up here, Braden, I'm up here in Aspen Grove right now. That's where I'm broadcasting from. And I was setting up in my room to broadcast, and I was like, I could probably get a nice and pretty background here because Utah is just with the mountains up here is just gorgeous. So I'm very grateful to be broadcasting from Aspen Grove. That's where my family comes every few years for just Labor Day weekend. Another thing that I'll say is, so key number one, limit the explosive plays. Try and keep the ball in front of you. That is something that the Rebels got into. Yeah, actually, this is in North. Yeah, we don't have mountains like this in. Actually, we do. This is right next to Sahara. It's right down by the Strip. It's just a secret spot in Vegas that we have as locals that we don't really tell people about. So yeah, keep the ball in front of you. Limit explosive plays. If you give up 7, 8, 9 yard chunk plays, it's not the end of the world. You just have to keep the ball in front of you. And that's something that I saw from that USF defense last night in that Boise State game that I really hope that the Rebels can apply. Keep the ball in front of you, especially if you're a little, especially if the communication's not great. Don't let players behind you. Keep the ball in front of you and respond. Don't commit too early to a play and put yourself out of position. And that's going to be the key to shutting down Sam Houston's quarterback, who can run, to shutting down Sam Houston's receiver core, who are talented. There's some talent there. And especially, I would say, to stopping the running game. It's okay if you give up a field goal every once and again. Once you're in the red zone, you have space. But what you can't do is give up explosive run plays, and because your linebackers jumped the gun and now are stuck in the mud on the other team's offensive line. So keep the ball in front of you. Key number two, I would say, is be decisive in your play calling. Now, this would be more for the coaches than for the players. But I felt like, and again, I saw this last night when I was watching the Boise State USF game. Last night, there were several times where I was like, guys, what you have to do. And I get that you've been sitting around all off season and you have all these players that you want to use, but you know who your best players are. So use them. Jet Thomas should have more than 10 carries. Now, unless there's something wrong with his health. I am a little worried about Jet. He did come up a little, I wouldn't say gimpy, but he was, seemed a little shaken up after that big, long, explosive run. And you hope that he didn't pull any muscles in his legs, because I'm not sold on Glover or Kevon Lee, our other two running backs. But I would say, what works. Calandria, he's got good legs. He can run. He can throw the ball. on the outside, Jaden Bradley, I really hope JoJo Earl can get something going this game, in the slot position. He's too talented of a player. And I know he's been frustrating in a lot of his stops, but I feel like I would love to see him get involved in the passing game a bit more. And among other guys, I mean, there's several names that I could bring up, but play what works. This is a must-win game. This is not an open scrimmage, which is what game one kind of felt like against Idaho State. This is legit. If you lose this game, it's really bad for the Mountain West this season. It's really bad for us, obviously. It's going to be difficult to have the level of confidence that you'll need to have going into the UCLA game next week. And so this game is absolutely pivotal. Tavon says, I need the Rebels defense to show effort. We can't lose after talking like that last night. Yeah, I was saying like I was really trying hard not to like say anything to because like teams lose games. Like this happens. Like Boise State losing last night. Every team loses games they don't feel like they should win. Loses games, and especially in ways that they don't feel like they should lose them. College football is fickle, and ultimately, you don't want to talk too much because UNLV could come out tonight and could lose to Sam Houston. Now, I do feel like the Rebels have a good chance to really kind of right the ship and get a lot of things corrected from that week zero. But ultimately, who really cares what it's just because we're all social media addicts that we care what fans of other fan bases of other teams have to say. But just be cautious. And if the Rebels win tonight, it will set the Rebels up in a great position heading into the UCLA game. I don't think the Rebels are looking past Sam Houston at all. I do think they were definitely looking past Idaho State, that came not just from the players, but top to bottom, the coaches. I think a little bit we're thinking, we're going to go in, we're going to win by 3 or 4 touchdowns. And I think that Idaho State result in that, giving up 500 plus yards to Idaho, I think was it 600 plus yards to Idaho State, that woke up the team. So you should see a focused effort tonight. If the Rebels lose this game, it will. And the Idaho State game already kind of did this to me. But if the Rebels do lose this game, it will change how. And I'm already, thinking it might, but it will change kind of how I view the team a little bit. Now, the team will still be able to improve and get better, especially as Mountain West play approaches. But if they lose this game, it will give me a good indication, a better indication, a full indication of what this team is. I do feel like tonight we will be able to definitively say, at least, talent-wise, and obviously that doesn't mean they can't improve, but after this game tonight, we will know who the Rebels are. Are they going to be an improved defensive team that occasionally gives up big plays, but is stingy and does well? Or are they going to be an explosive offense? Is the Orji Calandria duo really going to be cohesive against a real team? And Sam Houston is a real team, guys. I mean, look, the stadium situation where this game is being played, it's being played in an MLS game in Houston, like 3 hours. This is exactly how I'm excited. I'm optimistic, but I'm very nervous because the Rebels could absolutely lose this game. And I still don't feel like I understand who this team is. And after last week, I don't think that this team completely knows who they were. So keep the ball in front of you, limit explosive plays, play to what works. Jet Thomas as a running back, he works. He might be the best running back. Now, look, other teams haven't played yet, so I'm using a little bit of hyperbole here, but he's that type of talent that he could be the best running back in the Mountain West this season. He really is that type of talent. And I think he absolutely, if things go well and he stays healthy, honestly, I think he probably will be. Again, that's a homer take, but I believe in Jet Thomas that much. I think our quarterback duo of Calandria and Orji, Calandria getting 80 to 90% of the snaps and Orji coming in for kind of special toolbox plays, I think that could be really potent. And I think that this Rebel defense can be a defense that, middle of the road, all they need to be is an average defense. I think this offense has enough potential and enough punch that if they're just an average defense that keeps the ball in front of them, that limits big plays, that gets out on third down, they don't have to be great. All they have to be is good enough. I think Jet is the best running back on the West Coast. I don't know who the running backs are on the power conference teams, your Oregons or your USCs. I think he has the potential to be an NFL player. Look, he's a ways off from that, but he has the potential. Let me make sure I'm not missing any comments here. Guys, go ahead and drop me as we get closer to game time. We are about 5 minutes away. I will be live post game to talk about this result. If you have any other thoughts, and leave me your score predictions, guys. I want to know what you think the final score is going to be. Are the Rebels going to be able to stick to my keys of the game, keep the ball in front of them, limit explosive plays, and do what works? I mean, do what you know is going to work. This is not time for experimentation. This is time for putting the gas down. That's what this time is. It's time to hit the accelerator and turn into the team that you're going to be. Cautiously optimistic that it'll happen. Go ahead and leave me your score predictions in the comment section, please. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Score predictions are tough. I like giving general scores and then, score ranges as opposed to specific numbers. So I think that the Rebels will win by 1 touchdown. Their score will be in the 30s, and Sam Houston's score will be in the 28s. Obviously, it could go the other way too. You never want to be too confident. But I think a score of somewhere around 35 to 28 is a real possibility and something that the Rebels are capable of doing tonight. And I'm optimistic that they can and will do that tonight. But I guess we'll see. A 1-score win, they wouldn't cover. I don't really care about covering. Gambling lines are meant to get people to bet on games. They're not, like the whole reason that sportsbooks put out lines is they try and get the lines to a place where people are motivated to lose money on the game. And if you put score predictions and margins of victory into that kind of context, ultimately in Division I college football, the only thing that matters to me is if you win or not. How and how you look while you win. The score is obviously part of that, but it's not all of that. Sometimes scores can be closer than you think. And so go ahead and leave me your score predictions. Send them to me because I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. Las Vegas lines are meant to make casino executives money. The 9.5 number doesn't mean anything. All that matters is, will the Rebels play well tonight? And those things do go hand in hand sometimes, but often they don't. So I'm looking for a good performance, and I want to see, as much as I love Alex Orji, I do love Alex Orji and think he's a great player. I am looking to see Anthony Colandrea because this Sam Houston secondary is very vulnerable. There are guys on our team that can get open, that can get downfield, and I think that Anthony Colandrea could have himself a day tonight out there in Houston. And the last time the Rebels played in Houston, like somebody mentioned, I think it was Tavon, we gave a team hell. Yeah, the last time we played in Houston last season, we put the beat down on them, the Big 12 team. And so now this Sam Houston State team, it's going to be a weird game. Goodness, I hope we win this game, guys. I want this one so bad. I want to build on this, on our team's confidence for UCLA. I don't generally tailgate just because I don't drink, and I like eating in the stadium generally, but I do generally like to try and show up. This season, my goal is to try and show up early and walk around and meet people at their tailgate. So I know that there are fans, burners that are doing tailgate kind of stuff that would love to have you stop by. And I plan on stopping by and walking through the tailgates next Saturday during the UCLA game. But I do not actually run a tailgate or anything, just because I don't tailgating's, I've never really done it. I mean, growing up a UNLV fan out at Sam Boyd, there was some okay tailgating, but yeah, I guess we'll see. Sergeant Morhue, go Rebels. Yep, go Rebels. Guys, it's game time. We're about 2 minutes from kickoff. So we're winning 34-21. I like that score prediction. Count me in on that tailgate. Yeah, I would love there's a few people that do really good stuff, and I'll try and say Rebels win by 2 touchdowns. I hope you're right, DPB. I hope you're right. Guys, it's time. It's time, guys. Let's run. Woo! Go Rebels. I'll talk to you guys post game. Bye. Oh.